Welcome back to the On Football Zone and to a weekend previewing the Premier League games this weekend. But before that, a review of what we've seen in the Champions League this past week. Starting off with Monaco 1, Villa 0. Early goal for Monaco, giving them the win. And it's probably a poor result for Villa, one that they expected, though. It's quite a close game. And because Villa just outside those automatic qualification places, a big game next week against Celtic at Villa Park. That should be a great game. But moving on then to Liverpool, who defeated Lille 2-1 to all but top their group. They pegged back Liverpool, but in the end were by far the best team, deserved the win, and it looks like they could have quite a tough round of 16 fixture, looking at some of the teams fighting for qualification, but nonetheless still doing really well. Arsenal picked up a comfortable win, as you'd expect, over Zagreb, but PSG defeating Man City 2-0 up, collapsing, they must beat Club Brugge to stand a hope of going through. A remarkable turn of events, but Man City in deep trouble. I still think they'll go through, but a really poor collapse. Manchester United being pegged back by Rangers, then coming through. Wasn't a great performance, but they showed character to get through, as did Tottenham beating Hoffenheim. They'll be really, really pleased with that as they go into the next rounds, both looking good in that position, in that respect. Moving on into the Premier League action this weekend, starting off with Bournemouth against Forest. Really a game that I'm very much looking forward to, I've got to say. Both these teams obviously in great form, Forest sitting third in the league, Bournemouth seventh, both absolutely flying, and this could be a game which, it could give Forest a really big chance, or it could bring Bournemouth right into the race for the top four spots even. If they can win, they'd be only 4 points behind Forest. I think it could be a close game. I'm going to say 1-1. Moving on into Brighton against Everton at the Amex, and Brighton coming into this one off the back of 3 wins in a trot in all comps, really starting to pick up the form against an Everton side who blew a bit hot and cold, but hopefully that win last time out gave them lift up in the David Moyes Part 2 era. But I think Brighton at home playing really well at the moment, might just have a bit too much. I'm going to say it'd be 2-0 to Brighton. Moving on then to Liverpool as they take on Ipswich at Anfield, and you'd obviously expect Liverpool would be very heavy favourites going into this one. Playing really nicely at the moment, absolutely dominant against an Ipswich side who've just suffered a few really poor results, especially that 6-0 drubbing at home against Man City. That was Man City at their best. Liverpool dominant here. You'd expect, I'd expect a pretty comfortable win as Ipswich continue in their tough battle to survive, but this is very much a free hit for them. I'm going to say a very comfortable win for Liverpool. Moving on then to Southampton against Newcastle at St Mary's, and it'd be a very interesting game for Southampton this one, for Newcastle, obviously after that disappointing result last time out against Bournemouth, they'll be very much looking to bounce back. Against the Southampton side, they won't have a very bigger opportunity really. Southampton's so poor at the moment, aren't they? So I'm going to say Newcastle, very much will likely to get back on track. 3-1 for me. Moving on into Wolves against Arsenal at Molineux, and this is simply a must-win for Arsenal if they want any hope of staying in the title race. 6 points behind Liverpool. I know Liverpool have a game in hand, taking on a Wolves side that have been struggling for form a lot recently. Wolves still very much in the relegation picture, so it's going to be a very interesting game, and one that you'd expect Arsenal to probably come away with a comfortable win from. At least they should do. I'm going to say 2-0 to Arsenal. Moving on into the big game of the weekend, this time taking place at 5:30 on a Saturday, interesting time, but Man City against Chelsea, and it'd be an interesting game to see whether Man City maybe even rest a few players with that massive Champions League game against Bruges coming up this week. That'd be interesting to see. I doubt it, of course, a game of this magnitude against the Chelsea side, who's just finding some decent form now after a bit of a shoddy run over Christmas. It's going to be an interesting one, but I think City at home, I really fancy their chance here to get some momentum back. They seem to be both hot and cold. Maybe it's a hot time this time. Moving on into Palace against Brentford at Selhurst Park, and this is a game that I'm very much looking forward to. Two teams that are in really good form at the moment, two very strong teams at the moment as well. It's going to be an intriguing game, this one. Palace on the back of 3 wins in the trot. Brentford, their form's just kind of tailed off a bit, but of course their last 2 games have been Man City and Liverpool, so you can't read too much into it. But I think Palace at home will probably be confident coming away with a win from this one. Moving on then to Tottenham against Leicester at White Hart Lane, and this is another intriguing fixture for sure, because Tottenham coming into this one, obviously terrible run in the Premier League, did get a big win in Europa League, and hopefully that can get a bit of momentum going for them, they've been struggling so much, and the team that you probably want to be playing at the moment is Leicester. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one for them. Leicester will also see it as an opportunity though, no doubt. So I'm going to say Spurs will get the win, but it could be a nervy game and both need a win. Moving on then to Aston Villa against West Ham, battle of the Claret and Blue. And yeah, it's going to be an intriguing one, this one. I think obviously all them playing the FA Cup, Villa getting the better of it that time. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting game, one that you'd expect both teams to feel confident in their chances in, but I think at home Villa will probably be more confident. I think they're just a slightly better team for me at the moment than West Ham, so I'm going to say it will be a 2-0 win for the Villains. Moving on then to Fulham against Manchester United on the Monday Night Football. And yeah, this is a very interesting game because Fulham are a very solid team, but Manchester United, they have to start picking up results from somewhere. Hopefully that last minute winner against Rangers in the Europa League could really give them the confidence boost that's needed to really kind of kickstart their season at some point, because it's got to happen surely. It's just really not working for them at the moment. It's just been so poor from them. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I'm going to say it will be a draw, 1-1 for me.
Guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily football news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.